Hey there everyone, this is Park Team Shockwave with the countdown of Breaker the Shadow coming in a couple of weeks. I thought we'd do another match relating to the set, and that is Traptrix versus Counter Fairy. On the left side we have Chris Dominguez playing Traptrix, and on the right we have another fellow member of the team, Alan Fung, playing the Counter Fairies. This is a pretty interesting matchup just because both decks involved with trap cards in some way. And as you can see, Chris started his first turn by summoning Morello, searched out one of the trap hole cards, and then set 4 back rows. This is a pretty interesting setup he has here, just because that right now it seems like he might have the advantage just because he has so much back row supporting him. But let's see what Alan Fong can do from here. He did play the chicken game, lose 1,000 so he can draw a card. His deck and build is basically about getting out his Bountiful Artemis onto the field, and while having like a field full of trap cards with the Ariande on the Pendulum Scale. If you're not familiar with that card, Ariande is a new fairy monster that's coming on from Breaker Shadow, and it has the effect of the Pendulum Scale that while this card is on the Pendulum Scale, you're able to not pay life points as well as discard for counter traps. So that's a very powerful card, and like I mentioned before, I think this is a card that's not going to be just played in counter fairies but in a lot of the pendulum based decks. So during Alan end phase, Dominguez played his Notorious Sacred Tree. This is a continuous trap card that allows him to tribute a plant monster or an insect monster he controls and special summon one of the other. So say you sacrifice your plant monster, you special summon an insect monster. If you sacrifice your insect monster, you special summon a plant monster from your deck. So pretty good way for him to use Morello's effect to pop one of his back row, as well as use the MSC to get rid of the other. So Chris' strategy right now is trying to get as much back row of Alan's on side of the field as much as possible, because there's a very high chance that's going to be a counter trap, which it could be his downfall later on. So Chris went into his Notorious Beast. This way he can stop any of the pendulum being placed onto the field, as well as any crucial cards like Dark Lord or Geki trying to wipe his board. And from here, he's going to see into his Traptrix Rafflesia. If you guys are not familiar with this card, this is an OCG exclusive card that's coming in Breaker Shadow in a couple of weeks. It's a generic rank 4 that allows you to not be affected by trap cards, but also your other Traptrix monster besides this card cannot be destroyed by battle or crit effect, as well as unaffected by being targeted. But the most notable effect it has is basically is able to activate a whole trap card from your deck during a certain activation. So say that if your opponent summon a monster, you're able to activate bottom trap hole, send it to the graveyard from your deck, and then activate it through theirs. So back to the game, you see here Dominguez has a really big field advantage right now, and he's getting Alan down to 500 life points. He did use the Sacred Tree to sacrifice one of the Dandelion tokens to special summon the other Traptrix to the field. This is the card that allows you to activate your trap cards from your hand. Now we're in game 2. Alan is starting first. He's going to play his Ball Dolly to search out his Ariande. He's setting Ariande and the Luster Dragon onto the Pendulum Scale so he can use Luster Dragon's effect to add another copy of Ariande from his deck to their hand. And now this will allow to trigger the Ariande's effect to search for 3 counter trap, show to your opponents, and then your opponents choose one of them and then add it to your hand. This effect is definitely the same as Plush Fire, because it does get the effect even though it was on the Pendulum Scale. And as you can see, Alan is going to play his chicken game and 2 chicken games at this point to draw more consistent cards and possibly more heavy back row to support his side of the field. And just to give you guys a little heads up, we just find out that the Ariande card is coming out as a super in Breaker Shadow in a couple of weeks. I'm actually disappointed that this card is not getting a higher rarity, because it's a very powerful card, and with Sound Notices coming out, I think that it's something it deserves a high rarity, because I don't think it's something should be easily accessible for everyone when buying this spec, even though I believe that a lot of people is going to buy a lot of the box from the Breaker Shadow, since it really is a money set. It's really can't go wrong with any of the set. Speaking of Solemn Notice, For the counter fairy, we don't have Salanos, even though it's ideally you should play it just because of the ability to stop special summon or stop monster effect with 1500 life points, which is not that big of a deal. But with Aranade on the field, it's basically a free card to negate, and I thought it would be more disadvantage if we have that card against Traptrix. But back to the game, we see Alan here end his turn with Artemis on the field, 3 back rolls, and a pair of Pendulum Scales. I'm surprised Alan didn't Pendulum Summon his Ariande from the extra deck to the field because he does have a scale 3 and a scale 5. This way he can only special summon only level 4 monsters, which is fine for him since he only plays level 4 monsters. So the counter trap that Alan played on Chris's monster was Force Back. When Chris summoned the monster, he can return that monster back to his hand, and this way with Artemis on the field, he's able to draw. Upon activation on Lust of Dragon's effect, Dominguez did play the MST to avoid resolving that effect. I don't think it's a cost to destroy the other Pendulum monster on the scale. From there, Alan's going to attack. Dominguez activate his Mirror Force, but Alan did have the lance to protect his Artemis. So from there, he's going to set a couple more cards in the back row, and then in his turn, Dominguez is going to summon the same Traptrix he had before. That Traptrix monster is that every time you activate a whole trap card, you're able to special summon a Traptrix monster from your deck or add it to your hand. So very interesting card he played there. I guess with so very little Traptrix monster in the archetype itself, I guess you're just going to play all of them. He's going to play the Instant Fusion, hopefully get that off to special summon the other Traptrix monsters from the grave, but unfortunately Alan did have the Curse of Forbidden spell, which means that if he had any more copies of the Instant Fusion in his deck anywhere, he's not able to activate it at all. So now we have Alan's turn. He's going to play the Terraform to add another chicken game to his hand, but he's not going to activate. All he's going to do is just attack with Artemis and then set a couple more back rolls down. So he's look like he's being fully protected right here. But with 5 cards in his back row, he's not able to activate any cards from his hand unless he clears out some space right here. From here, Dominguez is going to set down a monster and then set down another traps. Hopefully he's able to get around this kind of field, but with this kind of field where you're not paying any cost, it's very hard to take advantage of that. So Alan's going to summon his Summoner Monk, and apparently he might be using the chicken game that he just added to order to activate Summoner Monk's effect. So Dominguez activated the Royal Decree, but fortunately enough, Alan did have the 7-2 to stop that. And you guys might be thinking why Dominguez is playing Royal Decree on a Traptrix based deck. It's just because that with Traptrix Atrax, you're able to still activate your trap cards without being affected by the Royal Decree, and that was his thought and process of playing that card after I asked him after this matchup. Going back to the game, we see Alan here bringing big monsters out, and that is the Dark Dragon Lore. It's a very old card. It was basically a show and jump card when it first came out, and it special summons itself when you negate your opponent's effects, spell, monster, or traps, and it activates its hidden effect where it can do something specific depending on what card you negated. So he has really big monsters on the field. He can't really go for game at this point with the chicken game on the field, and from here, Dominguez is baffled what to do from here. Hopefully he can get something out of this, but I doubt it, especially when Alan's field is very protected with all those back rolls. As you can see, Alan didn't see any point of exceeding any of those monsters he has on the field because they are very beneficial, just leaving it on. Now we have Dominguez summon his Dionega, hopefully to activate the effect to sort of summon another Traptrix, but again, Alan does have the Divine Wrath to stop the effect, and he's going to scoop it from there. Now, we're at game 3, and Dominguez is starting first, and hopefully he has the setup that he needs to avoid all those counter traps. So he's going to start out his turn by playing 2 Upstart Golems, so Dominguez is already ahead of the game at this point. So he's going to play his chicken game, draw an additional card, which allows him to get the Summoner Monk. From there, he's going to use Summoner Monk's effect to special summon, I believe, Artemis, which would be more logical. Yes, he did. And from this, I don't think Dominguez have any response to the summon of Artemis. Now he played his Ariande to the Pendulum Scale. I'm very curious what he's going to do from this point. Looks like he might be exceeding into something here, so So he's gonna exceed into his Kergorgan. This way, I believe his logic of actually playing that card was that if he had MST on the Dominguez side of the field, he can redirect it to another appropriate target, which way he can protect his counter trap, which he only has one at the time. But unfortunately, Dominguez did have the Royal Degree, and it's going to be a tough game for Alan to get around. Now, Dominguez's turn, he has some plays, but he's going to pay 1,000 to draw an extra card from the chicken game. From this, he was able to draw Morvello. Now he's going to search out for a Trap Hole card, and most likely it would be Bottomless Trap Hole, just because he hasn't have it yet. So yes, he is adding the Bottomless Trap Hole. There's not much he can do at this point besides sending more back rolls in his turn. It seems like the Royal Decree is really more hindering him than Alan, just because Alan doesn't really have much counter trap to go on, which seems more of a silver lining when it comes to Alan's opening hand, because it's really beneficial now that he can focus more on going aggressive instead of playing all these back row and just playing it safe. Now, again, he's summoning his Summoner Monk, activating his effect to switch summon another Artemis to the field. It might be possible that he's going for another XT play, but no, he's gonna go and just attack with the Morvello, and now Dominguez is just a little above 8,000, still ahead of the game when it comes to line points. So he's gonna end his turn. Now Dominguez, let's see what else he can do from this point. It seems like he's not having ways to make powerful plays on the summons. So Dominguez is playing his Miracle Fertilizer, special summon his Nefertiti's. If you're curious why he didn't special summon his Morvello instead, because Miracle Fertilizer only special summon plant monster, and Nefertiti's is the only plant monster within the Traptrix archetype. So from there, Dominguez had to end his turn because he can't really do much with that with Kergorgan on the field. So he's gonna play a little defensively so he can save some of his life points. Now with Alan's turn coming up, he's gonna summon his Luster Dragon to the field. He's possible to actually get into a single play, but on response of Luster Dragon summon, Dominguez has activated his Bomb Trap Hole just so he can activate his Traptrix Monster's effect, which again, like I mentioned earlier, it allows you to add a Traptrix monster from your hand or either special summon that Traptrix monster from your deck to the field. This way, he's gonna just summon, not summon, but add that Traptrix monster from his deck to his hand and possibly do a power play next move. So Alan's is still contemplating on what to do from here. So he's going to summon his Ariande onto the field. If I did not mention this before, but the Luster Dragon was summoned due to Summoner's effect. This way, he's going to Synchro Summon into his Dragon Slayer Synchro Monster, Ignister. This is a Synchro Monster that has 2850 attack and has special effect that by destroying a Pendulum Monster on the field or on the scale, you're able to choose one card on the field, shuffle that card back to the deck, and it has the Ignition effect where it's able to special summon a Pendulum Monster from your deck to the field. This way, he's going to bring that out just so he can use the first effect to just, well, not destroy, but send one of the cards back to his deck. So Alan's gonna use the Ignister effect on the Traptrix monster itself because the back row seems like it's not really much of important since the Royal Decree is still on the field. Now, Alan's seems like he's gonna go for a game by first destroying his chicken game and then exceeding into his giant hand. This is something that is basically a big slap in the face to Dominguez just because that he can go to any other monster, but he chose to go for a giant hand, and this is pretty much game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see deck profile between these two decks, please let us know, and we'll try to get it out as soon as possible. This is Park from Team Shockwave, signing out.